And financial education specialist Ivyn Sambo, whom you've just seen, joins us now to talk a little bit more about this. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Why do the levels of savings of individuals of a country matter?
It matters a lot because it helps in the long run of the sustainability of this country, right? So the more South Africans are able to save, the more they're able to retire properly. Right now, we're seeing on average the country having about 15% saving culture. But if you look really deep and you look into how much are they saving for retirement, and that number becomes too small. Seeing around 5% of South Africans in total are saving for retirement. That means government now has to pop up more money to secure and ensure the sustainability of our elders and more of our people when they reach retirement age. So savings helps a lot to ensure government can spend more money on other things and ensuring that they take care of us. So that's one thing that's very important about saving, more important about building the culture right now, especially for us young people. That's why I started my podcast to ensure young people start the saving culture right now, get used to it. So increase the number of young people saving for retirement from 5% to almost sitting about the global average of maybe 45% of young people saving for retirement, because it's a huge burden for government now to take care of people when they reach the retirement age. So that's why I believe retirement saving money must start now, so that when you reach that age, government don't have to spend on our senior citizens, but can spend on other things like ensuring the well-being of our young people, ensuring that it is youth development, ensuring that there's business development in the country. That's why it really is important to start the conversation right now before that time reach.
I mean, I was quite impressed to see there in that report by my colleague, the young people who are already financially savvy through financial literacy and education. But a lot of the time, I think people see it as in silos. If I'm not saving, I'm not impacting on your life. And I want to go back to, again, our general livelihood as a population. So a low savings rate stifles growth, but it also increases a country's vulnerability during a time of crisis, as we saw during COVID-19. And the high levels of unemployment making it worse, the rising cost of living. But if you're not an active participant in the economy, how can you be expected to save?
No, the thing, I always say like this, right? Because my content everywhere speaks to young people. I always say to young people, we're currently right now in this country, we're sitting on the high unemployment rate for young people. So people like, oh, I've been creating financial educating content for us as young people but unemployed. Why are you doing this? I'm like, I'm not aiming for you right now. I'm aiming for you in the next 5 years, when you secure that employment for you, when you secure that job for you, when you secure that business plan for you, that you already are in the mindset. So it's about, if right now you're earning 50 rand per month, that one rand you're putting aside is building that culture, is building that norm that you are able to adjust every circumstance in your life to fit in with your investment plan, your savings plan. We cannot only just speak up, at the same time, we not only speak about saving as well, but we need to speak about investment for young people, even if they're earning or not, but that they are aware with that information, so whatever opportunity comes in their life, they are able to now think progressively to how, okay, I know how to save, I know how to invest, I know how to plan financially for my life, I know how to plan for emergency savings plan, I know how to plan for this. They already are thinking about it, they already have the culture, have the information about it. That's why it's important. At the same time, as much as we may sit with a high number of young people who are unemployed, a high number of young people don't have that income, but let's give them that level of education. But at the same time, let's layer it up with a level of how they can earn extra money while still trying to search for jobs, trying to see how they can build up their business plan at the same time. So I think it's important to speak about finances, but not only just targeting, yes, save. Let's target how as well can you earn extra income. That's an alternative way out of just looking for a job or starting a small business yourself. So that's why I think it's important. So that's not to speak about saving alone, but let's layer it up with other ways we can do it better. So that's the way I believe we can do it better in South Africa. Because previously we've seen always people just targeting saving. But now let's target saving, let's target investment, let's target side hustle, let's target extra ways to earn passive income as well. And that's why I believe with 2023 coming up and starting it up, let's do it like that.
And these young people, without being pessimistic, Ivan, are, looking to the older generation. They're looking to the state to lead by example.
Yeah.
So in South Africa's case, I believe a robust level of economic growth of around 6% a year on a sustained basis will then create the ability for the country to create roughly about 500,000 to 700 jobs a year. So they've got to see a well-functioning state, a government that is doing that. So government is at the moment preaching entrepreneurship, job opportunities, but where are the low-hanging fruit? If you're saying, without just saying to young people, save, we must also create opportunities for them to earn money, to earn some sort of a living.
No, I
Yes, you can go ahead.
no, like one thing I want to touch on, right, is that as much as we can look at the government as a umbrella covers all of that in terms of job opportunities, business funding, as well as creating the economic environment that will allow business to flourish. But at the same time, I was looking to how can young people look to alternative international as well, looking to opportunities that already exist now. Because one thing I've seen, right, I had a live that I hosted where up to 100 young people joined that live, and all of them are looking to how can we create alternative out of what we have right now, because we cannot just wait for governments, we cannot just wait for alternative, we cannot just wait for global market to fix itself. Let's look at the now that we have. The majority of young people are saying, hey, I have seen opportunity in content. Young people are jumping into content, they're creating wonderful content, whether it's lifestyle, whether it's how to do your own things, whether it's drop shipping, and they're creating opportunity, but they're saying, how can we do this better? Let's have experts in the private field that are already doing it and coming up on and sharing it. Last night, I had a wonderful live where young people engaging with someone who's doing a business international, but still staying in South Africa, but telling them how young people can do it, how can they do it while they're in South Africa, but earning money international. So those are some of the things that we need to look into when we talk about how to earn money, how to save, how to build up business in South Africa. But the way that will help us. But at the same time, here's one thing that we also need to look into is that we need to build the habits right now of saving. That's one thing that's lacking hugely in South Africa, is the habit itself.
So what I'm saying is that speak to me as, let's pretend I am a young matriculant, I'm expecting my results. Whether I pass or not is immaterial because my family doesn't have the money, the wherewithal to take me further. Advise me on where to look and how do I create those habits in the midst of nothing.
In the midst of nothing, the first thing is that if you have access to any device that gives you internet, that's the first step. There are a lot of financial education content creators in this country that are trying to simplify the world of savings, the world of earning, the world of investing, the world of even managing your money wisely. Start there and learn the basics. And by those basics will help you to ensure that you are able to understand how to spend your money wisely. Even the small loan you're getting from your parents or the small loan you're getting from whatever side hustle you're doing, how to use it wisely and how to invest it wisely. I think invest in your information. Even if you make it as a matriculant to university or whatever space you're in, if you get to university and you have that NSFAS, that 1.5 you get from NSFAS, learn from that content that's available out there that is shared by South African and understand the context of South Africa. Learn from it and start to see how we can do it. Myself, when I went to university in my first year, that NSFAS money was my first foundation to build my brand, to build my businesses, and that was my first foundation because I learned from those who were already doing it and they were showing those concepts. So I believe invest in your education in finance space. The first thing you need to do as a young matriculant, or whether you're going to university or not, or you're unemployed or not, invest in understanding. So whatever form of money that you get, it can trigger your brain to ensure to use your money wisely in the most useful way possible.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Much appreciated. Ivyn Sambo is a financial education specialist.